Golem Arcana combines the fun of miniatures gaming with the power of mobile technology to create a tabletop game that is easy to learn and fast to play with endless depth. The secret is the TDI Stylus, which transmits your commands to the Golem Arcana app on your smartphone or tablet. Just tap a figure, tap the board, and make your move. Or tap an ability, tap a target, and make your attack. The app is a referee, rulebook, and scoreboard all in one. It even teaches you how to play.
So we were at just a travel and culture blog, and we do some gaming stuff and other things like that too. So, can you explain a little bit about the game and why it's innovative right now?
Sure. So this game, it's a tactical miniatures board game. What's interesting and new about it is it leverages a smart device, like a smartphone or a tablet, to really take that tabletop gaming experience places where it hasn't gone before. And so basically what the technology does for us is a couple of things, a couple of big buckets of things. The first big bucket is the technology makes the game super fast, super easy to play, super accessible. So you don't have to ever read a rule book, you never have to look up a rule. All the game pieces are interactive. You just, whenever you have a question about something, basically if you just touch it, the app will explain what it does and how it works. Out-of-box experience, you just crack open the box, you get the app tells you to set up some pieces and start playing, and it'll explain to you how to play as you go. So it's really great, really refreshing. The other big bucket of things that the technology does for us is there's a bunch of features, a bunch of things you can do in this game that you couldn't really do in a board game before. So the first is our scenario designers have this really rich toolkit they can use to embed secrets, mysteries, interesting hidden stuff, and scripted events into the games that none of us know about when the game starts. So as we're playing, we're also kind of exploring and finding hidden things. And so in that way, the app acts as kind of a game master of a role-playing game. It puts this extra level of narrative play on top of the tactical play that's going on. So for instance, while we're going across the board, we might stumble into a non-player character, and we'll have a conversation with him, like we'd have in a computer role-playing game. The outcome of that conversation can change our battle. He's a traitor from the enemy side, and I'm going to try to talk him into doing something, or whatever. So we're very excited about that. Related to that, another thing the software allows us to do is our fantasy world that we created for this game, Eretsu, is actually a living world, the fate of which is entirely in the hands of the players. So every time you play a game, the results of that game come back to our headquarters, are sent up the internet to us, and we have, up at that level, we have software that's taking the results of all those games and using that to plot the rise and fall of empires, who's winning the war, what's going on. So every time we play, we're really part of a broader community that's sort of fleshing out the history of this world that we're playing in.
So everyone's affecting gameplay as they're playing.
Everyone's affecting gameplay as they're playing, and in fact, anytime we sit down to play, our particular game might just turn out to be one of those pivotal battles that changes the course of the war for everyone.
That's amazing. So is that, I know that Jordan Wiseman and some of the other developers have had alternate reality gaming experience.
Oh yeah.
So is that something that was brought into the game? Are those the sort of things like that sort of community-based aspect?
Absolutely. So it's the sort of thing that as game designers we've been dreaming about doing for years. You talk about Jordan and some of his earlier games. We used to do things like that with BattleTech 20-25 years ago, but it couldn't work like this. So in BattleTech, for instance, we have a big tournament at GenCon, and the results of that tournament would then affect the fiction, and we'd write it into the fiction. But that would take a year for that to happen. We have the tournament, we go back, we write the books come out a year later, all of that. So players loved it and got really excited about it. What we love, though, is with the software now, that can be happening instantaneously, and everyone can be participating, not just the folks who can come to GenCon or come to see us, whatever. We learned from games like BattleTech a long time ago that sort of thing really, really energizes the players. They love feeling like they're part of the world. They love feeling like they have some control of where it's going.
Yeah, I played the Beast, the AI game too, so I was very excited to check this out because I was interested to see how the ARG aspects would come into it and affecting the world. That's a big deal for any player. I saw that Kickstarter was a big part of this, and congratulations that it funded it.
Thank you.
I noticed we we noticed that Kickstarter has become a big part of the gaming industry and funding things.
It has.
Do you think it's like a vital part of how the gaming industry is moving
Well,
now?
I think it's certainly a very interesting part. I mean, there are many paths to getting your game to market and getting it in the hands of players. Kickstarter isn't the only path, but it is a very, very interesting path. And what it basically allows you to do is build a fan base, build people who believe in you, and kind of, let them help you take something to market. Let them, help you get the word out there and so forth. So, us Kickstarter, prior to this, we kickstarted Shadowrun Returns. That was very, very successful. We built a lot of fans who really loved that game and who really believed in us. And therefore, we can count on them to help us get Golem out there and spread the word.
Yeah, exactly. And you have people who are excited about the game, spreading the word,
Exactly.
telling other people that they want to get out there and play it.
Exactly.
The other thing we were interested in is when you see digital and you hear about digital games, you either think online and network, but you guys specifically chose to have a real world aspect to it.
Yes.
What made you choose to have that?
Well, a couple of things. So first of all, we have deep roots in this tabletop space. We talk about games like BattleTech, and we've been around this space for a long time. So we have a love of these games. But beyond that, there's still something unique about sitting around a board with a bunch of friends and moving pieces around. It's a very different sort of social experience than playing a pure video game online. There are multiplayer video games, obviously, but you watch two people play a video game together and their attention is focused on the screen and they're doing all that sort of thing. You sit around and play a board game, it's as much a social experience as it is a gaming experience. That's really important. It's a really fun dynamic. You can't quite recreate it, with a pure video game. So we're trying to deliver that kind of experience, but use the technology where it would be useful to kind of remove friction, deliver exciting new features in the gameplay, and all that sort of stuff.
My husband was saying it removes all of the rules adjudication, rules lawyering, arguments over that sort of thing, and then just lets you have fun.
And makes the game super fast playing. So, a pretty moderate sized game of Golem Arcana you can play in 20 or 25 minutes. The equivalent game in BattleTech, an older game years ago, might have taken you 3 or 4 hours. We can get that down to 20 minutes. And, what we find in playing Golem is those older games, those games that are so dear to us, we became aware of just how much of the playing time was really spent on the sort of things you're talking about. Adjudicating rules, looking up modifiers, trying to remember how much damage this guy had, all of that. When you've got the software doing all of it for you, the whole game just speeds up and you can just concentrate on having fun and moving your pieces around.
Here's friends.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Do you have anything you want to know? Awesome. All right, thank
Really
you so much.
appreciate it. Thank
no
you.
problem. We're excited about it.
Thank you.
No problem. But it's faster, like you're finding it's good without having to add anything up or roll any dice or... Yeah, that's the kind of cool part I thought about it. I hate doing math in games. That's my... If you come to me with a game with math, I'm like, don't want to play. It's really cool.